Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to each and every one of you. Welcome to Monday Morning Affirmation. I am your host, Stephen Dillard Carroll. So, what do we do on Monday Morning Affirmations? Well, we uplift each other. We confirm each other, we affirm each other, we lift each other up in love, we lift each other up in encouragement, we lift each other up in hope, we give each other enlightenment, we give each other encouragement, we give each other insight and information, but most of all, we love each other on this channel. We unconditionally love each other on this channel. And that is my good and honest intent for this channel. And we do that each and every Monday. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, we start with a tarot card. And here's the tarot deck that we will be working with this week. This is the Justice League tarot deck. This is a very special deck in as much as it is out of print. There is still a way to get it. A link down below. I made a link down below where you can still get this. It's very hard to get this particular deck anymore, but the link is still down below where you can give it your best shot if this deck resonates with you and you'd like one of your own. So we start out with a tarot card. I do a little bit of interpretation, not much, a little bit of interpretation on it, and then I tell you a story that has to do with the card from my own personal archive of life and life experiences and life stories. And then at the end, we end with an affirmation that ties it all together and lifts you up. Sis boom ba, rah rah rah. Because everyone deserves a cheerleading section. Never ever forget that. And hopefully gives you a little bit of hope to go through the rest of your week. So with that being said, let's jump into this week's affirmation. This is for October 26th, 2020. I didn't forget that time. This is your affirmation for October 26th, 2020. Please do like, comment, and subscribe to this channel if you like what you are singing. And please do share what you are seeing today if you resonate with what you're seeing. Like, commenting, subscribing, and sharing helps me out a hell of a lot. And I thank you and appreciate your help in that way. Finally, I do private readings. If you would like a private psychic reading, the link also is down below where you can click on that and book your own appointment with me. So let's jump right on into this week's affirmation. And this week's affirmation is brought to us by the Eight of Pentacles. Only this card came up before. This card, in fact, came up last week for us, but it's in the reverse position this time around, which means that you're not getting what you should be getting. This is Batgirl, right? No, this is Batwoman, excuse me. This is Batwoman, Kane. Kane is Batman's, Bruce Wayne's cousin. And, yeah. I could go into that whole CW controversy and the new person that they have cast in that show, Batwoman, but that's I mean, that's for another channel and another time, because I happen to be a comic book nerd. I love comics. I love comics to death. And so I love this particular deck because of that. But anyway, Kane. She is a lesbian, an out and proud lesbian, and that factors into her comic a lot, and factors into the Ruby Roseless television show on the CW. One thing about her is that she's cocky. She is cocky. She knows her stuff. She knows her stuff, but she tends to run headlong into danger. And she wants to create her own path that is separate from Bruce Wayne. She helps out Bruce Wayne. She knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne and all of that. She's part of the Bat family, but she's determined to set out on her own and do her own thing. Remember last week I said a lot, I talked a lot about learning, and then breaking the rules to create something else. Kane, Batwoman, is more about doing than she is about learning. And I'm not talking about it in an id sort of way. I'm talking more about, okay, let's get to work. Yes, I understand. I get it. I get what you're saying. Let's get to work. Let's defeat whatever villain we are trying to defeat. Let's get into it. There's something to be said about doing rather than overthinking, because me as a Virgo, I overthink all the friggin' time. I think I come up with scenarios that are outlandish, and I've learned to create scenarios that are just completely out there. Like, what if an alien invasion happens while I am trying to do a reading? What do I do? And then I scale back from that. That's one thing that I've learned how to do, is say, okay, what is the most ridiculous and probable thing that will happen? Okay, let's start there and let's back up to let's create scenario after scenario after scenario that is less outlandish, that is less ridiculous, that is less out there, until we back into something that is more practical, that seems like, okay, this actually could happen. So what is our plan in regards to that? That is Stephen's way of dealing with the alien invasion, because for Stephen, the alien invasion is very real. For Stephen, the alien invasion can happen at any time, as can the zombie invasion, as can the supervillain invasion. It can happen at any time, and I, quite frankly, don't have enough toilet paper to withstand the onslaught of aliens, zombies, and supervillains. I just don't have enough. So, anyway, that, because I always go to the worst case scenario, and I know that I'm, by the way, I know that I'm not the only one that immediately goes to the worst case scenario. I know that I am not alone in that. I've learned that that is one of my shortcomings, and so because of that, I have chosen to go with the most ridiculous, the most outlandish, and then, step by step, back up from there. The worst is not going to happen. The worst is not going to happen to any of us, because even when we think that we're going through the worst there's always a sub-basement below that. And I'm not trying to make light of pain. I'm not trying to make light of grief, of tragedy, of accidents that happen. I'm not trying to make light of bad things happening to good people. I'm not trying to make light of that at all. What I am saying, though, is that if you think this is the worst thing that has ever happened to you, and I'm not talking about watching this video, if whatever you're going through in your personal life, if you think that that's the worst thing possible for you, it's not. And I know that that does not make anything less painful. It does not make anything easier to get through, but it's a fact. What we are going through right now is not the worst thing that could happen to us. In fact, a lot of times it can be the best thing that has ever happened to us. Really quickly, I did not come to the metaphysical path until my dreams, my New York dreams came crashing down. And at the time, I thought this is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. I have spent 30 years of my life focused on one dream, on one goal, and I was determined. And when it didn't happen, I thought this is the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Little did I know that it was the seed that would be planted to make it the best thing that has ever happened to me, which is opening my mind to spirituality in a way that I hadn't before. And so that's my affirmation for you today. I know I kind of went sideways from the Eight of Pentacles, but I really encourage you that if you are going through the worst thing imaginable right now, this too shall pass. And when you have distance and time away from it, you will see how it all fits together in the big picture. I wish you well in navigating this very, very hard situation. I wish you well in navigating your way through something that is horrific and terrible and horrible. And I give you the encouragement that each moment is a moment that you are stepping in the right direction. Each day you make it through is a step in the right direction. Each hour that you make it through is a step in the right direction. Each moment that you make through is a step in the right direction. And I wish you all the best in this. And I hope that someday you can look back on this and see it in the grand design, in the grand picture. And it may not have been the best thing for you, but it was the thing that catapulted you into the next phase of your evolution. I could go on, but we're well over 12 minutes, and I want you to get on with your day. So that is my affirmation for you today. Have a fantastic Monday, everyone, and I will see you right back here next Monday morning. Bye.